It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins here, and we are brought to you by the Red, White, and Blue. Today's guests are from the Anniston Army Depot. We've got a special event being hosted by the depot. We've got Angie, Durant, and Gloria J. Prince. And I'm doing that for a reason. You'll find out as we go further in the show. Angie and Gloria J. are going to talk to you about a special event that they are hosting here in the city of Anniston. So get the pen, you're going to need this. Be right back. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Today's guests, both of them been on the show before, a long time ago, but today they come back to talk about an event that's happening here in mid-November for veterans, and that's what this show is all about. And so we're going to welcome to the show Gloria J. Prince and Angie Durant. Gloria, J, Angie.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, I'm a mess up on the names. Just don't worry. As long as we get the information
You're
right.
Exactly. That's what's important.
Either one of y'all answer this. I'm not going to call it by each one, but there's several things that I've got notes on I want to talk about. And the first thing is this: the supermarket of veterans benefits, and we're going to talk about what that means. But when, where, and who all is going to be their sponsors? You're sponsoring it, and whatever. You're going. Okay.
The Supermarket of Benefits for Veterans, and this is what it's called, the Supermarket of Benefits for Veterans and the Suicide Prevention Fair. This particular event is going to be at the Anniston Meeting Center, and the location is 1615 Noble Street, and the date, we're looking at 14 November 2014, and the time is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
9 to 3.
Yes, sir.
14 November. Some reason I had the 15th of November. Where'd I get that?
I couldn't. That's on a Saturday, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't happen.
I got you. All right, so the 14th of November, 9 to 3. Where?
At the Anniston Meeting Center downtown.
Okay, that's where we had one before. For somebody else.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Now, you said it's a veterans supermarket benefits, and then your suicide prevention. I'm going to turn to Angela for that, because you used to be the suicide prevention coordinator out there. Are you still?
Yes, I am. I'm the Suicide Prevention Program Manager for Anniston Army Depot. And let me tell you a little bit about this fair. This supermarket and fair, let me say, is put on for all the veterans, active duty service members and family members, federal workers, and retirees and family members. We did this, we started in 2010, and we had over 1,000 people to come through. And what we sponsored was resources for veterans, retirees, family members, and federal workers to come and find out what resources are available to them in the community. We want to be able to help our veterans, service members, retirees, federal workers, and families understand what resources that the community can offer for them. And we partner with the VA because the VA have a host of benefits that veterans can use, and a lot that veterans have not accessed that's available to them. We want them to access those services and use them. That's what they're there for. You know, the workers still get paid whether we use them or not.
Let me interrupt you there, John. I had a show in here one time just dedicated to that, because the state of Alabama passed 16 bills, one session, 16 that was just veteran specific. One of them was just as simple like having the word veteran on your driver's license. And by the way, I want to thank you. You say that right. I get on to people here all the time about congressmen, senators, presidents, everybody. They don't know that it's veterans. They say veterans, and there is no such thing out there. But veterans. But anyhow, the bills are passed. The benefits are there, and they don't know about them. And that's exactly what you're. I was at the one you're talking about. I was amazed to see what spouses that have deceased, that have survivor benefits and things. We're learning stuff there that they had no idea existed just for them. So go ahead, I interrupted you in that.
No, we're not selling anything. We're just providing information.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the local doctors, hospitals, mental health facilities, they too provide services to the veterans. And they know how to reach our veterans, and the veterans just need to know how to reach them. And they will provide what they can provide for them, or what they can give, what kind of services they can give to them.
Well, see, with what's happened recently in the VA, and I was briefed 2 weeks ago in Montgomery, the VA, the federal VA, is doing more and more with the local population when you're 40 miles away from. But even if you're not 40 miles away, if there's a specialty that exists in Anniston, Alabama that doesn't exist at Birmingham, they would still pay for it under certain circumstances. And we have, I noticed also yesterday, I just picked up looking where the VA nationally has partnered with Walgreens for flu shots and things like that. And of course we give them here, but they just things out there that, gosh, it's like you went gambling and you left it on the table. You know?
That's right.
If they don't, and this is one of the things, it's like a smorgasbord of veterans benefit. Everything that they've got. And Gloria, you got something you want to chime in on that right there?
Well, this benefit, or this event, I should say, is all about, serving the veterans. And as Angela said earlier, it's about the retirees and the survivors and family members and federal workers. And it's just out there to make sure that everything that we need to have and to support our veterans is going to be there for them. There are things that they don't get the opportunity to do or see. So we want to have those services. We want to have, those items. We want to have those resources so they'll know about retirement. They'll know about health plans. They'll know about different things that they need to take care of themselves.
If you have the, similar to what you had before, all the veteran service organizations, the American Legion, the DAV, the VFW, and Ms. Kitty Moore and all the group from the Calhoun County Department of Veterans Affairs, State Department of Veterans Affairs will be there.
Yes.
They will all be there.
And there's things I get on my phone. People call me because they know I'm a veterans advocate. They call and they want to know if I'm eligible for this for a claim, And now we're getting people from Afghanistan and now from Iraq that are calling me, and they're wondering if I got hurt. For example, I got hurt playing volleyball when I was in Afghanistan. They sent me to the hospital, and I had a knee injury, and I stayed bombed up for a while, and now I've got problems with that knee. You and I know what the answer is, but they don't. This is where they find out that information, what they can do. And I got to say, you're a veteran.
Yes.
Gloria J., you're a veteran, right?
Yes, sir.
And your husband is my bestest, my BFF. That's Oscar Durant. I don't mind saying that. I say it away from his back today. He's my buddy. We had dinner together the other day. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. You wasn't invited.
No. Didn't want to go.
But anyhow, that's the thing is, it's out there. It's available for you. People have voted and went to bat for you, and it's out there. You need to come find out what's out there for you. If it has to do with benefits or health care. Now, one of the things that having the people from the State Department of Veterans Affairs there, one of the things I get the most is about eligibility for a veteran's home, which we have 4 of them in Alabama now. That's where they get their application. That's who they get it through. It's through Kitty Moore and her bunch in there. And that's one more thing that people are talking about. Our group of veterans, the World War II veterans, are going off the radar, and we're down to the Korea and Vietnam veterans mostly. But I'm going to tell you something, might scare you. I'll go down to the veterans' home. We got Iraq and Afghanistan veterans in our homes already. We got to go to a break, come back. We got more with Gloria and Angela. Stay right there. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. We're talking to Gloria J. Prince and Angie Durant from Anniston Army Depot. We talked a little bit about the suicide prevention and all, and then we're talking about the benefits over there. And I've got a lot of things I want to ask, but I'll probably be asking something that not as important as what you got. It must go to you, Gloria. So what's the next thing we need to talk about here? Make sure.
Well, I like to say that our agenda is pretty well full, and I would like to plug in that Mrs. Catherine Moore, who's one of the managers over at the VA building, is our mistress of ceremony, and my guest speaker is Major General retired Larry Ross. And he's out of Birmingham, so he's going to be there. So it's going to be a fantastic event.
Do you have any snacks, coffee, or anything like that?
Well, the vendors or the agencies or those participants that's going to be there, they will have theirs set up at each table, that they're going to be stationed at. So when you come to their table, it's going to be various things.
Veterans, I want to look in the camera. I want to tell you, these people that set up DAV, American Legion, all of them, it's like having General Electric and Acme and all these different. Each one of them is wanting to serve you. They don't have any special benefits. DAV don't have any different benefits than Kitty Moore at the Department of Veterans Affairs or the American Legion, but they're there vying to help you, and they want you to come over, and the payment they get is the fact that they helped you that day, and they don't get any pay for it. So think about that. A bunch of people coming in, spending a bunch of money, renting the Civic Center, City Meeting Center, Anniston Army Depot. Thank you, Anniston Army Depot, but that costs a lot of money to put this together for you. Shame on you if you don't come out there. Go ahead. You got.
Well, let's talk about the suicide prevention part of the supermarket benefit. We incorporated that in there because the last 3 months of the year is a critical time for our service members and our veterans. There are, we call those blue season, blue season. Suicide we're losing a lot of soldiers and a lot of civilian employees to suicide every year. We averaging right now about 200 deaths by suicide per year. But I'm also told that there are about 22 veterans that I don't have the access to every day that die by suicide. This is a traumatic epidemic that we really need to focus on trying to get those people at risk some help.
Yeah.
And that's part of the supermarket benefits goal, is to get help for those who need help.
A lot of the veterans that are taking their lives are at the end of their rope, financially homeless. We've even started at the state of Alabama. We've put in thousands of dollars that we hired a director. That's a homeless director for the state of Alabama. I mean, we've got nursing home directors, we've got cemetery directors. Now we've got a homeless director. Because I asked for a feasibility study, and I was shocked, Angie, to find out how many homeless veterans we got. How could you ever have a homeless veteran? But I had a lady on this show who was in her 30s. She came back from Iraq, took the key in her door, and it wouldn't work. There was another couple living in her apartment, and she'd been conversing with her husband and all this stuff, and the direct deposit went in the account, and he was taking care of all the money back home, and she couldn't get in the house. And in 9 months, these people had been living there. She wasn't even in Iraq good, and he had already moved out. And the check, he's still getting a check every month. She come home, she was homeless.
Wow.
She's on the state board of directors with me, but she's a homeless woman in her 30s. Imagine what it'd be like. She had no family in the United States. And that was what was. There is ways that you can become a homeless veteran, and it's no fault of your own. And so this is where those people, the suicide thing, that the thing that scares me about, you're talking about the military versus I read in 2012, the first 55 days of 2012, we had 52 suicides in the military, active duty. That's ridiculous. That's nearly one every day somewhere in the United States. We can't allow that to happen. Shame on us if we don't do something here to say there is another way, you can call it. Is that anything else you want to talk about on that subject?
On suicide, no. We just need to get out and get those people that are asking for help some help. We need
They
to
got
get them to the
a quiet
appropriate
place there
resources.
where y'all can talk, where if somebody come in and says, my husband's acting like this, somebody can, the place you can
I'm sure we'll be able
I know
to
you got
arrange
brochures and
something
stuff,
like
yeah.
that. Yes, we'll
Yeah.
do brochures. But if anyone come in and said that I'm at risk, see, we will have all of the resources, the people that can help them there. We will have the VA.
Yeah.
We will have the Anniston Mental Health, the Cleveland County Mental Health there. Well, they're going to be, the Birmingham VA is supposed to be there. So we have the resources to get immediate help if someone come in that presents themselves in crisis. We want to help.
And somebody could be there that knows someone that's in crisis.
Yes.
Pick up some literature with some phone numbers and go help that person. Because one of the things I've found in dealing with suicidal people is you're afraid to say the wrong thing. You're afraid that it'll push them on over. So if you go to you guys, what you've got out there, it might give you some insight. That's a sad subject, but we have it's real, and we're having a lot of it.
Yes, it's sad, but it's a valid.
Yeah. If we have one,
subject.
that's too many.
That's right.
Yeah.
One.
You got something, Gloria?
Yes, like I say, a couple of things, Ken. On 6 November, the depot is hosting a Veterans Day ceremony where one of our lieutenant commanders, Lieutenant Colonel Shane Moore, and he's the commander for munitions, will be the guest speaker. And this event takes place on the installation and is open to depot employees only. And the next one is 11 November, and this is a community relations type. The depot is participating in the City of Anniston's Veterans Day Parade, and I'm also one of the volunteers, for the organizations there. This will take place, most people should know or have seen it, on Noble Street. And our Deputy Commander, Colonel Brent Bolander.
Depot
Commander.
The commander, Anniston Depot Commander, Colonel Bolander.
That's what I said.
No, you said deputy.
I said Depot Commander.
Oh,
I said
okay.
Depot Commander.
We're going to pull it back.
Okay, the Depot, you see it, you hear it, Depot Commander, okay.
No problem.
Let me lose my
Brent
thought.
Bolander.
Colonel Brent Bolander and our newly Sergeant Major Bowie, or Bowie, in correction, her name is pronounced Bowie, will represent the installation while riding down Noble Street in a Stryker vehicle.
Okay. That's on November 11th around 1 o'clock that day.
Yes,
I think
1
it is,
p.m., exactly.
we have our ceremony up in the park, and next week I think it is I'll have Mike Abrams, who's the guru of putting that together. He'll be on my show, and we're going to talk about the everything's a parade, who can be in it, what can be in it. Now let me ask you this, you was talking about the event on November the 6th, you said for depot employees only. Can retired veterans, depot employees come to that, or is that just active employees of the depot?
That's for the retired veterans.
It is, okay.
Yes, this is, from what I understand, this is the veterans ceremony that they'll be conducting on depot.
All right, well that's good to know that people out there that might want to go to that. I've been to them and they do a great job. It's a great thing. Well, look, we covered just about everything here that I think and I ain't got 30 seconds, and that's been in the way. But I do appreciate you coming on here and do this, and don't be a stranger to the show. It's been a few years, so you know where we are, and it's open to you. Anything you got going, we appreciate you. Thank you. Good to see you.
You too.
Y'all got that down. That was very good. We got to go to break. Come back. I got news that you can use. Stay where you are. Be right back.
Okay.
Welcome back to Veterans Issue. I appreciate Gloria J. and Angela for coming on and doing the show today. And that's November the 14th. Remember that, folks. That's up at the City Meeting Center. I think it's about 16th and Noble, somewhere in that area there. And that's a huge deal, and you'll be glad you went to it. And you can tell me later. Thank you for telling you about it. Now, I got to tell you something's happened on November the 10th, the day before Veterans Day. You remember Ben Thomason that was severely wounded in Afghanistan. He's paralyzed down. And Lieutenant Dan, Gary Sinise, and Stephen Stiller tunneled the Towers Foundation, along with AOD Credit Union and some others, built him a accessible home that he can access. He can reach all the drawers, he can reach the stove, he can get the microwave. And a lot of that, I just found out today, he can access with his iPhone and iPad He don't have to open any doors, whatever turn is. Everything can be done from his iPad. Well, on the 10th of November at 1 p.m., Colonel Denny says that they're going to dedicate the new home, and it's on 701 George Dothett Drive, Southwest. It's across from the Jacksonville High School football stadium where you normally go for football games, plenty of parking. And I'm throwing this in, so I want you to bring plenty of tissue because it's going to be a memorable moment to see Ben have the keys to his new home, that he can be more independent, and my gosh, don't he need it? And it justifies that he does have that. So I want to be there if I can, but I want you to be there. I want you to see this happen. A lot of people in the community here help do that. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Lieutenant Dan there, Gary Sinise. He was there when we kicked it off out there. And thanks to AOD Credit Union. Doc Williams and all the people out there, you just do such great stuff. Remember my new contact number, I'm going by 239-9234. That's the cell number. That's where you can text me. That's where you can get in touch with me. Make me shout outs earlier this week so I can get William Hutchinson, Caroline and Elmer Wheatley, Betty Carr, and my buddy Cliff Prosser over in Birmingham that watched this. I want to thank everybody that's purchased the law enforcement tag. That's really doing a lot of good work. Now the flu shots, it's that time of the year. The VA Health Clinic in Oxford is giving flu shots now, but I want to tell you about this deal. On the, let me see, I got a special thing here for the flu shots. They're having a fair down there, if I can find it. Anyhow, wherever I put it, there's Oxford VA Clinic has a flu fair, they call it, October the 24th, and it's for veterans only, not the spouses, but the veterans only. You're going to get your pneumonia shot. You can talk about your shingle shot, but you get your flu shot and blood pressure and all that stuff. It's a flu fair on the 24th of that sounds like that's October. I'm thinking of November. That'd be Thanksgiving, but 24 October at the VA clinic down in Oxford. So keep that in mind. If you missed the show here on the regular times, go to WEAC TV 24, the on demand, scroll to Veterans Issues. You see any of the shows we've had here in the past, and all you folks that watch us every week over in Brazil, in Germany, and all those places that are watching, even up in that country called Michigan. Those of you that watch us up there, I say it because kids is from Michigan. But anyhow, we got a lot of folks that watch us on YouTube, and we appreciate all of you for tuning in each week. And so I don't have much time left, so I'm just going to say that this shout out goes to all those that will be helping the Veterans Supermarket of Benefits on with these folks we talked about here today. So be there, and you'll thank me later. We'll see you next week here on Veterans Issues. Salute, and we're gone.